Vibration, sweet babies. How are you? How are your holidays? I recorded a few readings. I didn't actually get a chance to edit them and upload them before the holidays, so they'll be out soon, probably before this one. But this one will be coming out very shortly because you may hear my family cat. He's very saucy today. He's got a lot of I don't even know what he's doing right now. He's been up to no good. He's been trying to be involved in literally every single thing that I do. So anyway, we are about to walk into, here he is right now. Yes, speaking of which, hi. What are you doing? Oh, wow. Why, honey? So, for those of you who are new here, my name is Hannah, aka Bunny on the internet spaces. I'm a professional model. I am a life coach, and I also like to share my intuitive insights. And in the past, I used to... Oh, what is he up to? Basically, to summarize it, hey now. He's gonna knock that whole thing over. About a year and 3 months ago-ish, I want to say it was probably September, October of last year, that I started pulling cards on a regular basis, and I would sit down and pull oracle cards, and I would share my reading. I ended up moving back to Connecticut that November, and I was very much in a place of trying to get myself rooted, grounded, and connected back to my roots. So I found myself coming back to my family's home. I was spending a lot of time with my family dog, my buddy boy, who came into my life when I was really struggling with my mental health. And without him being an emotional support dog, he was definitely an emotional support dog and just the best pal ever. And I spent about a year just pulling cards and spending time with my dog in my family's home. And then I want to say that it was September that he passed away. I'm not completely honest. I'm completely honest, that's not necessarily the exact time because it was kind of a blur. It was very sudden. I have his paw print memorialized on my arm, but it was around that time that he passed away. It was very quickly, but he was, an old man, and it definitely felt like, whoa, I didn't realize how much of my readings were really something I was sharing with my dog. I genuinely didn't notice that was happening. And then very soon after Troy Boy left us, my family was introduced to a stray cat, and they took him into the home, and his name is Earl. Well, I call him Earl. We all have different names for him, but he's gray, so I call him Earl Gray. And he's been hanging out. And so now I still continue this practice of sitting down with my cards, coming back to my family's home. I like to do little chores here. My family lives on a lake, so in the summertime, I love to be around the lake and just come back to where I grew up. My family, my lineage has lived on this road and on this lake for over 50 years. And it's just really special to be able to know that I am so rooted to this space. Not only that, but I'm indigenous and very rooted to this part of the country. And last year, just a quick summary of my year, that was really something I was trying to connect deeply to and connect back to. And from that, I'm telling you that my life changed. I have never felt so centered, aligned, connected to who I am, connected to my purpose. And this isn't to say that the year didn't come with its hardships and struggles, because it definitely did. I faced a lot of heartache. I faced a lot of trauma. I faced a lot of grief. And during that time, I think, there's a maturity aspect to it too, of course, but if it had not been for me taking the time to sit with myself and to sit with my cards, and with my buddy, I don't know if I would have been able to stay so centered and so connected to what I think is my source, like my true nature and my true divine light, that we all have access to. So I don't know, I just felt like sharing that with you. We are coming up on a new year, and it kind of feels like a nice moment to pause and reflect on what was the last year really all about. What were those lessons that were really shaping you throughout the year? And I think what kind of put me on that tangent initially was sharing how Earl came into my life, and also just the power of companionship, but more so and specifically the power of good company and recognizing the company that we keep. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards really around just what it is that our collective is really needing guidance on as we move towards this new year. And this is for my collective only. I pray that this falls upon the ears of those who are living in their divine purpose, who are living in their highest and greatest good, and that it is protected from any ears of anyone who has any malicious intent or ill will. I felt like that was important to specify. And okay, cool. So we got 44 and 33 here. So like the cards are showing up in synchronicity in a way. Okay. I did also just get a new deck recently, my friends, and I'm very excited to pull from it today. I feel like it's very important to like bring it home with me, and sort of like, I don't know, almost root its energy in like who I am, where I'm from, that sort of thing. I don't know, that's just like a little thing I'm feeling. But there is just something about sassy oracle cards that speak to my soul and keep it real. I really like to keep it real in my readings. And okay, so we have a lot of heart energy showing up. Patience came out twice. Just sharing what I'm seeing significance right now, as I like let these cards kind of pop out. Okay. This is so interesting because my person literally pulled some of these same exact cards in like the same exact order. And I feel like there's really some genuine significance to that. I trust my man's intuition. And now just for the fun of it, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle from this new deck. Or actually, you know what? Let me share what I'm feeling first, and then we'll pull some of those fun ones at the end. So first and foremost, I'm really feeling like there's a lot of heart energy at the center of this reading. And going through New Year's Eve, you can look at it as a new year, New Year's Eve. I'm going to be looking at it more of like a 1-1 portal, where it's a lot about choices, intention, setting the direction for your upcoming year ahead. And not only the upcoming year ahead, but it's also really the upcoming journey that you're about to embark on. And I feel like a lot of people don't always have a good grasp on like the balance of how much we kind of decide that journey and how much it's in the hands of the divine. There's a lot of choices that we make that can put us on a specific journey, but more so a specific timeline. So let me share more what I mean by that. So when it comes to this upcoming year, and honestly, kind of with any portal and really at any given opportunity, if you really wanted to like shift the fuck out of your vibration and just 1-1, it's already here in the reading, like put yourself into a different timeline where like you're operating, thinking, moving differently, you can do that. But I think with just sort of the energy and the overall like numerology and what have you for this new year, this 1-1 portal is really offering us like a place to really shift timelines. And without thinking like too woo-woo and esoteric about it, it's like, what vibration, what wavelength do you want to be vibrating on for all of 2026? Of course, you're going to deal with life. You're going to have highs and lows, ups and downs, whatever. But what is your baseline? Who are you vibrationally stepping into for this new year? Who do you want to show up as throughout the new year? And no, it's not about just doing something on New Year's Day and like setting your 30-day goal and whatever. This is something that us collective, we've probably been thinking about already. How we wanted to expand, how we want to evolve, right? Because we went through the 12-12 portal, and reminder collective, we're that collective that did that work. I know the holidays came in hot and heavy. You know, there's travel, there's people coming in and out of the home, there's consumerism, lots of shopping, lots of financial talk, like all types of very 3D, very, you know, real world things going on that can sort of distract us from the fact that on 12/12, if you've been listening along collective, or even naturally, intuitively, without knowing, you set the intention to expand in something in your life, in some area in your life. And not only that, but 11/11, you made wishes for something. You asked the magician to wave a magic wand over something in your life. And prior to that, you prayed for cycles to be closed so that you could call upon those things. Now, how intentional, 37, how focused have you been to your purpose and your path? Because if you go through each portal and you're like, okay, this time I want a new car, and this time I want to get like that new Skims North Face like collab, like babe, we're talking soul's purpose. And when you get distracted by the very 3D, the very like real world, so to speak, it's very easy to be disconnected from what you and your soul felt at one point or is feeling called to right now. So this is a gentle reminder that I'm being urged to give you from spirit of, don't just go based off of how you feel in the right here and now. It is a beautiful time to pause and reflect and look at all of the inner work. What kind of lessons were continuing to be shown to you? What sort of cycles and patterns did you notice throughout the year? What thing did you work really, really hard for? What were your big achievements? And I can almost guarantee you that some of the biggest things that you felt abundant and like you achieved a lot in, had to do with heart space, because that's what the collective was working a lot around, was self-love, self-worth, and relationship to self. And collectively, we probably went through a lot of really transformative heart space experiences, whether it was alone or with other people, community, relationships of all kinds. And this was not coincidental. This was a lot of seeds that were planted specifically by you, because you know, right? We did the self-worth work to discover that we're worthy and deserving of receiving beautiful love in all shapes and all forms. And we planted seeds for what that really meant to us and what we wanted that to look like. The journey is the destination, meaning it's not over yet, babes. And more importantly, it's time to think about how this journey really needs to look as it moves forward, because 2026 is a year of movement. It's a year of putting direction and going places and carrying you, think chariot energy, from one place to the next in your goals. And this, okay, there's a lot of things I want to share on this 37 again, but I want to get really nice and focused and make sure it all makes sense. So first, let me start off with, again, Chariot. You are practically being like carried toward everything that you've been hoping and praying towards. Not coincidentally, but because you've been literally praying for these things. And not only that, but you've been doing aligned actions. Aligned actions are how you stay on course. It's how you stay on your soul's path. Not the path that people are pointing you on, not the path that you think is going to pay you the best, even though your true purpose might be the path that does pay you the best. That's not your motive. Like, your soul's calling and your inner guidance system is taking you on a path of purpose. And there has to be alignment in that. So the best way that I can really explain it is how I would explain, like, if I were teaching you manifestation or vision boarding or anything like that. Every action we make, every thought that we have, every emotion that we emote has a vibrational frequency. Like, this is not like good vibes only. This is like literally, you know, quantum we're talking here. So there is a numerical vibrational frequency attached to every emotion, thought, sentence, action, and it goes off around us. You know, it exists and it's vibrating around us, which means that our big goal, how we want to feel come December 2026, our visions for ourselves and all of this, that image in your mind, what's happening for you, what you've achieved, what you've attained, what you've accomplished, who you've grown into, exists at a vibrational frequency. Now, you could sit there and like try to tally that up. Like, if you were to take a snapshot in your mind of your end goal for 2026, maybe you've got, like, you know, a lot of beautiful, abundant things around you. 222. I'm seeing like a really beautiful relationship. I'm seeing a healthy, stable home life. I'm seeing excuse me. Okay. Maybe you have ghosts in the house and that's like your thing. Just kidding. I'm seeing stability. I'm seeing safety. I'm seeing joy, laughter. Yes, literally, it's right here in the cards too. And I'm seeing it visually in my mind's eye, and it's like, 'tis the season, merry and bright, lots of lights around you, just a lot of joy, whimsical, like could be holiday cheer, could just be like a lot of beautiful energy all in that space. And if you wanted to sit there and tally up that snapshot in your mind, you would get a vibrational numerical frequency of that goal and that vision. And now do the math, girl. Sorry. Not trying to be sassy when I say that, but like, do the math. Where are you right here, right now, as you're listening to this, as you're setting up your vision board, as you're like creating your mantra for the year? I don't like a mantra though, I'd rather say affirmation. Where are you at? What are you eating? How are you thinking? What are you feeling? What kind of activities are you doing for yourself? Where is your numerical vibrational frequency right here, right now? And how much, mathematics do you need to do before those numbers look the same? And the reason that this is important is because some of this shift in what you have to do, the aligned actions you have to take, right? Those actions that are going to align you with that numerical frequency of everything you're hoping and dreaming, some of those actions are going to be a long-term process. Those are things that are going to require you to show up consistently. And this is beautiful because I feel like this is very in alignment with what I was hearing in my church service the other day, of like showing up before the prayer has been answered, showing up in alignment, living in purpose, showing up with, the prayer in your heart and your intention set before the manifestation or the, physical manifestation of what you're looking for has shown up. That's the only way you can get there. You have to believe it to see it. Lots of people say, I'll see it when I believe it, but it's, I will believe it to see it. So you have to take aligned actions throughout this whole year to get to that numerical frequency. Hey, you might, be ahead of yourself even. You might get yourself to that point 3 months into the year, and you're gonna be like, you know what, actually I needed to be thinking a lot bigger and dreaming a lot bigger and thinking about what I actually want for myself even beyond that. And you're gonna set new goals, and you're gonna look at how much you can elevate, raise your vibration, right? Have a higher vibrational vision for yourself even beyond that. And this isn't to shame ourselves when life throws curveballs at us, as it will throughout the year. Things are going to take a hit to us. It's going to make us feel lower energy. We might get stuck in a funk and, be thinking some really cruddy thoughts that like really lower our vibration away from what we are wanting for ourselves. But that's why we have a year to set goals. And if you want to do 3 months, you want to do whatever, that's fine. But like, ultimately we're thinking about the journey that we want to take as we step through that 1-1 portal. Is this a journey that we want to make challenging and difficult for ourselves, where we repeat the same patterns, the same cycles? Is this a journey where we want to be complacent and just stay as we were, revert back to familiar or old ways of operating? Are we moving forward truly? Because 2026 is about direction. It's about the chariot. Where are your actions carrying you? And that's where it's a co-collaborative process, right? Because your actions are aligning you to your journey. So if you're taking actions that are in misalignment from the intentions that you not only are going to set on this 1-1 portal, but more than likely you've been called towards for many months now on this journey of living purposefully and authentically to your soul's purpose, probably because you just don't know any other way. You don't know how to be another person besides yourself. You don't know how to turn down your in tune self with the world around you, your intuition, so on and so forth. You are here and part of this collective because you know that in order for you to feel truly authentic, not only that, but alive, you have to be following something that feels purposeful in your heart. Even us who want to live purposefully will sometimes fall off course and make choices that are in misalignment with what we're hoping and dreaming. But there is a lot of grace that we need to show ourselves, and forgiveness that we need to ask for and show ourselves. And in that space, you're able to really move forward and grow and expand, which is really what we were being asked to get a lot of clarity on before the year 2025 leaves us, which 2025 was a snake year. It was all about shedding skin. It was all about letting things go. So Spirit wanted me very clearly to be like, let your shit go. Whatever you are carrying into this new year, you have no excuse for it. Cosmically, baby, you were aligned to Spirit is basically like, if you're holding on to anything at this point, that's on you. Like, Spirit has set you up with so many opportunities, so many, I'm feeling like doors open, like protection, divine intervention, just like Spirit was like in the ring for you in 2025, truly. So use these last few days to cleanse and remove anything physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually that you know belongs to a shedded skin, a version of yourself that is not here anymore. So those of you who have been feeling a little bit like sludgy, like gooey, a little bit like soupy, maybe especially in the holiday seasons, I know it can be very overstimulating and it's just tiring and it's a lot, but there is likely purpose for this, for us collective. And I've talked about this before, where butterflies, which really why am I blanking on the word? They symbolize, I don't know where my brain was going with recognize, but butterflies symbolize a divine transformation, right? They go from this caterpillar, they go into the cocoon, and then those caterpillars literally break down everything in their body to become a liquefied goop, a literal goop version of themselves before they literally reform into a whole other being, a butterfly. And some are arguing that butterflies are very sentient, and wouldn't that just be even more on the money for this symbol here for us? Nonetheless, my point is that when it comes to a change, a transformation, there is this little bit of limbo period. There is this space where things feel ooey gooey, time feels shifty and weird, and it almost feels like a little bit of a trust fall, and it sometimes can be. Sometimes it's emotional. Sometimes there's grief included in that process because there's a part of you that's becoming aware that you are changing, and that there are parts of yourself that you are letting go of, maybe for better or, for worse. I would say the reason it would be for worse is because you became attached to those parts of yourself. Which is interesting because I was also feeling nudged by Spirit to speak on the idea of attachment, anxious attachment and avoidant attachment and all the attachment styles. But something about, there's something you're avoiding within this shedding of skins process, or whatever you had the most trouble facing, or what you had been avoiding that was really being shown to you through the year 2025, was actually more so an anxious attachment to something in yourself that you were not able to process the idea of letting go of. And so we think like, okay, somebody here is just so like avoidant. They act like they don't care. They act like they can just, be completely disconnected from a situation and whatever. But in reality, there is something that they are so anxiously attached to within themselves, within their behavior, within their mindset, within their patterns, within whatever, that they are willing to avoid anything at all costs to preserve it. And, in us collective, there might be something to that for each of us. What about the year 2025 was showing us something that we were willing to literally like stay in the same venomous, toxic version of ourselves in order to hold on to, instead of really, truly shedding the skin, embracing who you need to be, stepping into a more evolved version of yourself. And weren't you divinely blessed? I really think that in a lot of ways, collective 2025, as challenging as it may have been, there was a lot of beautiful blessings that I think more than anything put you on a path in the right direction and a growth direction of connecting to your highest self, your intuition, and source. And that in itself is the blessing. Yes, it's nice to have physical, tangible things to symbolize our blessings, but I think for us collective, the relationship that we were able to establish with ourselves and with spirit through turmoil by our aligned actions, by our choices, recognizing our free will is very much what the law of causality works with in order to create the path in front of us. And while there's still a lot of things we want to improve and grow and change, I think more than anything, Spirit is excited to take that journey with us as we move forward, because of just that deep, devoted connection to what is really, truly purposeful to you and in your heart and in your soul. And as I was saying before, it seems to me like a lot of that has to do with the heart space. I see that travel might be significant, and that you need to continue to ask for divine guidance around all areas of your life. Whatever your goals are for your upcoming year, whatever your intentions you're setting for this 1/1 portal, this is... Spirit is asking you to bring source, bring spirit, bring your divine guidance system into everything you do. Business, your relationships, your money, your cooking, like whatever it is, like ask for more divine guidance. And I think that that is really the heart of whatever your visions are as you move towards 1/1, because truly it's going to be all things that you've done through yourself and through spirit. You are the conduit for spirit. When you're moving in purpose, you're moving with the instruction manual, with the blueprint, with the from the higher ups. You know what I mean? That's kind of the energy I'm feeling, is like these are direct orders from the higher ups. Like, of course I'm going to accomplish these things. Of course I'm going to get things done. Of course I'm going to reach my goals, because I'm taking directions from the higher ups. Stability, as well as an anchor, is very significant. I feel like there will be conversations around stability, and the biggest thing with this, okay, interesting. So what I'm seeing here, where you're going to be struggling with stability in your life is going to be a lot of headspace things. So as you're making your intentions and what you want to focus on for the year ahead, really consider presence, being in the moment, not getting into your head, remembering that you're not the center of the universe. Getting out of your head and into your heart space. That is really going to be significant. Sleep issues might be significant. You are being an ass because you are fucking tired. Get some fucking sleep is what the cards say. So like truly make sure you're taking care of yourself on a mind, body, spirit level. Sleep is very emotional. Sleep is very important for your emotional well-being, but your thinking, your overall physical health, how much energy you have, it's very important. And I'm seeing here that it's not everyone else's fault, okay? It's yours. You're a grown-ass adult. Stop blaming others. So where you're struggling with things as far as your sleep, or maybe being in your head, having issues staying grounded or staying present or in the moment, you are giving your power away. You're a badass. Act like it. So whatever you're doing is definitely draining your energy. And it's really interesting that these cards came out because Spirit did also sort of whisper these things to me earlier too, of like, where are you drained? Like, what is draining you of your power? Because truly, like, a lot of you might have felt like 2025 took a lot out of you. And it's time to work smarter, not harder. If anything's draining you or making you feel tired, worse, or less than, or drained of your physical energy, you can sure as shit bet that it's not, sorry for kicking that, headphone users, not in vibrational alignment with you or the frequency that you're trying to vibrate with. Again, just like taking care of yourself and your physical health, and noticing what things are draining you of your energy. Don't make this 1-1 portal all about the very typical, like, oh, I'm gonna eat good and I'm gonna work out. Baby, do that. You should do that. Like, I highly encourage that all the time. Let this 1-1 portal be about how you want to show up in this year, what you want to show up for, what things are draining your energy. Let them shed with the year of the snake and be gone and exist no more, so that you can fully show up as your highest and greatest good, with a lot of stability, with a lot of joy. Water signs might be significant for the year 2026, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I see some good luck in the future. Again, according to love, some good shit is about to happen. Traveling might be good for you and your abundance. Go see some shit, do some new things, talk to people cooler than you. I feel like travel and being adventurous and thinking about going out and beyond your everyday is really going to be good for you. Yeah, put the fucking phone down. A lot of things here about getting out of your head, into your heart, stepping into the present moment, stepping into life, really fully stepping into life. And you're somebody who knows how to do this. So this really should be like just sort of you. Do you, but to your best is kind of like what I want to just encourage you, because I do feel like now whatever you're going to do with a lot more heart. You're going to do with a lot more character, a lot more intention, right? Out of your head and into your heart. I see when it comes to, let's see, things regarding love and matters of the heart. When it comes to, I'm seeing, don't talk to anyone, don't look at anyone. You need some fucking time alone, and you know why, okay? So instead of like getting all caught up or acting any type of way when it comes to love, don't, just go take care of yourself. Go be with yourself. And I see, ask a fucking expert. Don't rely on your friends or the internet. Listen to a damn professional. When it comes to things maybe involving the ancestry tree, this could be ancestral patterns, this could be traumas that your lineage has faced in the past. Get over yourself, pull your shit together, help people, give back, do good shit for humanity. So anytime that you're feeling like struggles within your relationships or within your romantic life, it's time to really think about, you know, where it's coming from within yourself. Could this be something that's a repeated pattern? Could this be something that has existed in your family history? Could this be something that you need to start being a little bit more selfless around? How can you give back, and how can you help somebody in this situation? I'm seeing an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I'm seeing that this is a lot of yield energy. So pull back. Reconsider what stability truly means to you. You got a good thing going. Don't ruin that shit. Believe what you see. Face reality or live in fucking la la land. Choose bravely. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of cards here that are trying to tell you to stay very grounded. Stability this year is going to have a lot less to do with finances, a lot less to do with, you know, the tangible, shiny things. And honestly, collective, it's not because you don't like them. I see actually this collective might be very much surrounded with a lot of those things. But what I'm seeing here is you are loved. You are here for a reason. Don't fuck it up. Fucking apologize. Seriously, just do it. Something regarding your relationships in your heart and being in your heart space is really going to be important for you as you move towards this upcoming new year. Stability is really going to be moving out of your head and into your heart space. Stability is going to have to do with how much joy you bring to the world around you, how much you're willing to look at the stuff going on within yourself, how many things do you want to carry on from your ancestral patterns, what kind of family tree do you want to grow for yourself in the future. And this is a year that's going to bring a lot of forward momentum in whatever it is we're setting intentions around or setting goals around. Remember, you've been on a journey that's been here to show you your infinite potential. I see that this has to do with heart space. You might be needing love in order to accomplish a goal that you didn't realize the two had anything to do with. But I see that movement, travel, going places, adventuring, joy is going to be the overall theme of your year. It's a lot of moving forward, going forward, finding stability, moving out of the head and into the heart space, and recognizing, you know, how can you best take care of yourself, take care of what you need, take care of your mental health, your body, you know, all those things intertwined so that you can show up for what actually matters for you in the upcoming new year. It's all about aligned actions moving forward from here, friends. So take some time for this 1-1 portal and do a few things to get very intentional. I love a vision board around the new year. I think, you know, it's such a great time to really refocus and reevaluate what things you really want to be the theme and the overall importance of your upcoming new year. This is also a great time to do some journal work. You can ask yourself questions like, what do I want to feel the most throughout the upcoming new year? What things was I very successful in the last year that I would like to do more of? What things was I not successful in the last year, and why do I think that was? Look for some questions and allow yourself to get deep with them. Explore those things, as far as what can set you up for you to show up best in your new year. I would also recommend a really grounding meditation. The 1/1 portal is New Year's Day. You may still have family around. You may have, people visiting, or you yourself may be somewhere that's not home. Find some time, even if it's 5 minutes, to do a grounding meditation and bring yourself back into your body. I'm also going to recommend that you spend time with pets and loved ones. Cardinals are significant here. I feel very strongly that grandmothers, many matriarchs, grandmothers of the family are around you at this time, and very much I feel like pulling strings, like tying up loose ends, pulling strings. It's really cute, almost like tying little bows on things to help you kind of seal the deal on this upcoming new year. Sort of close out what's not necessary, what's heavy, what's needing to be let go and put down as you step into 2026. And I feel like there's a lot of grandmother spirit showing up to kind of help you tie up those loose ends, but also kind of like guide you and nudge you and put you on the right direction for the upcoming year ahead. But I want to encourage you to spend time with family, pets, or pets in general, animals, loved ones. This is really a year where having a lot of really healthy, stable love is going to have a lot to do with how successful and beautiful and vibrant the rest of your goals can flourish, because of the seeds that you planted in 2025, right? Because of the things that you were able to grow and learn from, and the seeds that were harvested from this past year, and all the lessons that you were on. You planted a lot of seeds and things that you created, intentions around things you wanted to grow. Honey, come here. Come here, sweetie. A lot of that had to do with heart space and self-love and growing a healthy, happy community. And this is really going to be a year where you see all of that flourish. You're going to have a lot of love and joy around you, and you're going to realize how you could have spent so much time doing the grunt work, setting goals or intentions around money, business, so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, love is fueling and feeding your soul so deeply and so abundantly that you're able to see things flourish in ways you really never even dreamed possible. So it just might happen, no matter what your visions are for the upcoming year, that by taking care of your heart space, dropping out of your head into your heart, letting go of the anxieties, the worries, taking care of your body, your sleep, your mind, your mental health, taking care of yourself so that you can show up in the spaces that need you and the places that need you with the people that love you. Like, this is really going to be the most beautiful sort of surge of power up juice to everything that you've ever wanted. You might be someone who's used to having to do things alone, putting in a lot of elbow grease, a lot of grunt work, working really, really, really hard for things. But you're going to find out, ooh, okay, I feel like I might need to do another reading after this. But I see you now as somebody who's falling into the ease of luxury, of softness, and realizing, like, when you actually come out of that mode, of that hustle mentality, and fall into softness and receiving and receptivity mode, that you, by having a lot of love, a lot of safety, a lot of regulating your nervous system, a lot of environments where you feel really safe and calm and stable is actually what's going to allow you to receive and go so much further in this upcoming new year. So I'm sending you all of my love in, and I will talk to you soon.